Hello guys, I am just going to show you some of the coloring books I have collected. I am about, I think, a month into this. I have started, well actually 2 months into this. I forgot about the other collection. So I used to do, and I still do, art journaling. Stamping, stuff like that, but I have recently got into all these beautiful coloring books, so I thought I would share my collection with you. Let me get into here and let me turn the volume down here. All right, just so I can see if anybody joins. Okay, so this one is, and I wasn't too sure if I was going to get this book, but I got medium all over it. But I did see quite a few people get this book, so I thought I'd give it a shot, and I'm actually loving this book. I do have medium that has gotten all over because I usually have inks and paints and watercolors and so much stuff going on, but that's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and show you. I haven't done too much in it, and these are actually in progress, so I haven't colored any of the beginning stuff. Some ink came through. This is actually color burst, but I will incorporate that when I color this. So here is, let's make sure you guys can actually see this. Here is one of the pages that I am still working on. This one is a lot of fun. I am actually using quite a few mediums on this. I have Dilutions ink that I've been using on it. I am also using Dena Wakely's gloss sprays. I am using Dilution shimmer spray. I have what is that stuff called? Stickles that I'm using. I have my gel pens that I'm using for spark. I want a lot of sparkle, and I know there's a lot going on this page, but I'm having a lot of fun, so this one's taken me a little bit. I also used color burst to make, that's why it went through the other side. I didn't use I usually use the clear gesso, which Dena Wakely has been my favorite so far because colored pencils take really well to it. I didn't gesso this page, and I probably should have. I didn't think I was going to use so many mediums, but this is really fun. Added a planet. It's kind of a weird planet, but it's in there. So I'm still working on this one. This one's taken me a really, really long time. I do have, I don't know if you can see, I've put in, what is that? They wrote the Borealis, or those Northern Lights. Incorporated that into the piece. I have lots of sparkle going on, lots of shimmer. I just wanted this real good and fancy. I'm working on this one right now. I use Tim Holtz Distress inks. I'm using watercolor. It's what is that watercolor called? Metallic watercolor by Art and Fly. These are amazing, by the way. Don't let anybody tell you that they're not. I am having a blast with these, and they're great. They create great shine, great shimmer. I am actually using to color the elephant and some other things. These are the Art and Flies. These are awesome pencils. Don't let anybody tell you they're not. I think these are perfect for coloring in your color books, doing whatever. I'm enjoying the heck out of these pencils, so I thought, I just got those not too long ago, so I thought I would try them. They're actually layering pencils. They're not like your Prismacolors. They're amazing though. I layered 2 colors on top. You can get at least 17 layers of color if you color lightly on top of these pencils. And let me see if I can bring it just a little bit closer here. Any other mediums? So this one, actually, I was just working on before I thought I'd get online and show you what I'm doing. If you'd like to know colors or anything that I've used, comment whatever you want, and I will tell you which colors I was using. I got a little messy in here with the ink. I was rushing out the door, but that's okay because I will incorporate that into my balloons. This book is actually really cool. The paper is not too bad. Trying to see. I thought these lemons were really cute. So I thought I would, I used watercolor. Sorry, my dog's going nuts. Watercolor, metallic watercolor for the lemons. And because I did get a new gesso, I did gesso this because I was going to use some different mediums. The colored pencils don't like this gesso that I picked, so please don't get it. This is the U.S. Art Supply clear gesso. Not cool. It's cheap, so I didn't lose too much, but it's too glossy. It does work for watercolors, so I guess that's a plus, but it does not like colored pencils. So learned that lesson. I should have stuck to my Dena Wakely Media clear gesso because it loves colored pencils. Let me see if I've done anything else. Okay, so this was kind of a, I don't know. I'm working on it. I work on several pages at one time. I can't just sit there and do one page for countless hours. I do about 5 or 6 at a time. So I was also working on this one today. I was watching a TV show. I wasn't paying attention, and I went ahead and accidentally blacked out the lake. I really went in for gold on the black. So I am trying to fix this right now. I made a stencil on my Cricut, doing some spiraling stars. So I thought, hell, let me put that on there. How much worse can this get? It might work out, guys. I'm pondering, I'm thinking, and I'm going to try to save this page because I like it. And who knows what it'll turn out. I'll put some Northern Lights in. I'm going to put some sparkle, and I'm going to fix this right up. So we'll see what happens. And I don't think I have colored anything else. But this was actually, like I said, I wasn't going to get this book. But I found a couple gals that have done some amazing pages in here. So I went ahead and got it, and I'm glad that I did because this is a nice break from the Mythiographic, the Mythic World. This is something simpler. I can come in and I can just relax, but they're beautiful. Next book, I have Mythic World, and I'm sure many people have, but like I said, I'm new to it, so these books are all new to me. I have seen many of your beautiful pages you've done. They've inspired me. These pages scare the heck out of me. Very detailed, but very, very beautiful. So I'm kind of excited about that. I did start this. I'm using the Color watercolors to go in here, which I happen to like those pencils, to go in the background and put the color in. So I just started that one. And let's see if I've done, okay. And this one, let's see if I can get the whole page to show up here. I just started this one the other day. I was actually mixing some of my mediums. I used Dena Wakely's scribble sticks. I've used watercolor. I've used colored pencils. I'm using Prismacolors for the colored pencils here. Watercolors by Jane Davenport. The scribble sticks to color this body from Dena Wakely, and to detail some color in, I'm using Prismacolors to do that. So this one's actually really fun. I found him to be like uber cute, so I did have to end up gessoing it started to go through the paper, the watercolor, and I really wanted to save this paper. So one mistake that I do have in this book is the fact that I was only able to use clear gesso on part of it. So some of my pencil work is a different color than the other part, but I'm going to eventually, the blender didn't work. So I'm going to use watercolor and I'm going to make this blend in and work. I just want to make sure my paper is dry, everything's good and dried before I come back in with any more medium. This half of the page is gessoed, this is not. So I definitely don't want it to continue to leak through. I will end up blending this in. I just don't want it to leak any more than it already did. But this is a fun page. This one, I am using Prismacolors to do the trees. I did use, what did I use in the background? I can never say those pencils. What are they called? Scrivener and Farben in the background. And I'll see if I can get a little bit closer here. And then I used a enchanted paint, which is really awesome. To kind of give it a little bit of glow, like something's on fire. And the Scrivener, however you say it, in Farben, I kind of lit it up a little bit to make it look kind of like it's a fiery kind of look. But I leave these notes on here because I work on several pages a day. I get bored, so I do backgrounds one day, I do this one day, I let this dry, and I go all over the place in my books, but eventually they'll all be done. I'm using Prismacolor to do, I'm kind of using these, what are the trees called? I can't remember now. I had the name, but I want to leave them kind of white with some gray tones to them. Birch trees. That's the look I'm kind of going for. But this was a cool page, and it does have, I'm sure you can't see it on the camera, but it has kind of like a sparkle to it, which was really, really cool. So these pages really scare me, though. This is very detailed, and I don't think, I'm trying to see if I've done, this is the other one I started. I am using Prismacolors for the dragon. This one's fun. This is very detailed, so I'm taking breaks in between my coloring, and I'll be working on that. I don't know how yellow got on my paper. Okay, I will blend that in. So I'm using purple hue, blue, and a different shade of blue and some black right now to work on these scales, and it's really turning out cool, though. Those colors, I'll bring it a little bit closer, are pretty neat. I'll probably use some mixed media in this paper, some glitter. Oh my gosh, that one looks hard. I don't think I've done anything else. Oh, this is one of the ones I'm going to do next, is this lady elf tree thing. That looks really detailed, so I'm a little scared, but I'll get to it. So that was what I've done in the Mythic World. I think this book is really, really awesome. Kirby Roseanne's art's great. I've seen a lot of ladies color some really beautiful pages that are very inspiring to me. The next book I have is the Mythographic Dream Garden. Now, you guys are probably going to be like, oh, I can't believe you did that, but I did it because I'm actually going to be framing some of these papers. So I will take out, because I'm sure you guys have already seen this book, the page that I've worked on 2 pages. This one's nearing to be done. I've used, and I don't know if you can see kind of a sparkle. I've used that dragonfly paint on the gems. I've used watercolor. I've used colored pencil, and I believe the colored pencil I used was the Scribner and Farber, however you say it. I'm sure I butchered that up. I actually used a Tim Holtz stencil to put some little honeycombs around. I've used King Art gel sticks and then black acrylic matte paint. And I've actually gone in and taken some things out with the black. So it was just my preference, but I am working on finishing that. The next one is the lion. This reminded me of like Moses and the water splitting to let the Israelites through, and that to me represents Jesus. It just struck me like that, and I think it's beautiful. I kind of like these little mushrooms coming out. So I've been working on that, and I am using, which I need to put this on a sticky paper, Prismacolors on that one, and I've used stickles to give some sparkle over white acrylic paint. So this one's not nearly as done as I haven't worked on this one in a minute. I believe, yeah, that's all I've done in this book. Oops, I better put that with the corresponding. But yes, I did take them out. I like to work and turn my paper and be able to be free. And I'm probably going to send some of these to family in a frame, depending on how they turn out. So I actually like that these pages are one-sided. I can use a lot of different mediums, and then I can frame them and I can give them as gifts. So that was a really cool thing, because a lot of the Kirby's, they're great, but you can't, they're all double-sided, and I love using different mediums. So anyways, next one is Worlds Within Worlds. This is an awesome book. And did I start? I did start. Okay. This is a beautiful book. Really, really is. I started doing the dragon, and this one I did an acrylic wash, and then I'm going in with Prismacolors and doing the scales, and then the little, I don't know if these are horns or what these are, but this is a really fun page. It takes a long time though. I am glad I did an acrylic wash in the background, because it doesn't eat up as much of your pencils when you're going in for the detail, because I am using Prismacolors and those can wear down pretty fast. So the acrylic wash was probably one of the better things that I actually did with that one. And then drew in the eye. And I'm not sure if I have done anything else. I can't wait to do the shoes though. This one is uber cute and I'm so excited, but I've got so many pages going on right now, I don't want to start another one. I don't think I've actually done, well, that would be kind of fun. I don't think I've done anything else in this book. I just got this like, I think a week or so ago. Yeah, I haven't done anything else but the dragon in this book. This is a really, really awesome book. And I've seen a lot of the ladies do some really, really beautiful pictures that have inspired me. So thank you, ladies, for what you do and all your hard work out there. I love looking at your work. Just, it's so inspiring, and you do such beautiful, beautiful things. Another book I got is Circle of Life. I've seen a lot of ladies do this one. Now, I haven't done but one page because this is new, and I haven't finished it. It's actually in progress. Now, I've used watercolor. This page is gessoed, by the way, because I knew I was going to be using a lot of mixed media on this. So this is still in progress, but I'm using watercolors, I'm using alcohol markers, I'm using glitter gel pens, and I'm using colored pencils. Now, I'm not sure if this was exactly the effect I was going for. Oh, and I used Tim Holtz. I think this is Distress Oxide. It could be the Distress ink. Yeah, it's the Distress ink. So this one is definitely in progress. It's got a lot of, I don't know if the light will catch a lot of the sparkle here. The watercolor is the Metallics by Magic. What is that? Magic Art Fly or Magic Fly, which are amazing, amazing metallic paints for this kind of stuff. And that is the only thing I've done in this book. I have a lot of, like I said, a lot of projects going on at once, but I will get back. I try to get in each book and each paper that I have going on and do something with all the papers I have going on. Now, you guys might freak out, okay? You might do a freak out, but I'm going to show you the Colormorphia, okay? This is a brand new book, has not been colored in because I had to buy that one to replace the one that I have. I messed up big time. I used my color burst. It went through the binding of my book. It went through other pages and it completely destroyed it. So I tried to salvage. I've torn out actually most of the pages in this book. And all the favorites, I'm going to end up framing these. So I do have my extra one, but I'm actually glad that this happened because I am able to take out my favorite ones, which this is one of them. I've used, and I'm totally going to frame this one. This is Acrylic Paints, black and blue, and then I put some, the white that I'm using is actually Dilution Shimmer Spray, and it's her white linen. Let me see where the camera is here, see if it'll focus. And I use that to put in the stars in the background. I'm using colored pencils. I'm using my, what is this? The Signo gold, silver, and white pens. I actually chose to black out this middle part. I kind of felt that that was a little too much going on for me. So I'm going to end up putting some stars in here. I was waiting for the ink to dry. And then I'm going to go in with some different kind of colors. And I was testing out how to make my own bronze and my own gold out of the Scribner and Farber set. They blend really well. So that's what I've done on that one. And then I also have started this page. This has taken me a minute. I didn't know what I wanted to do with the page. I saw a lot of ladies do a lot of this and a lot of that. I decided I wanted to plank it. So I took my ruler and I drew. I still have to put the nails in, and I'm not too sure what I'm going to do from this part to this part. I was going to put some water coming in up on the planks. I'm not too sure yet. I'm still thinking about that. So I decided to do my own planking, put that in, give it a light color. I think it looks really neat. I still have to put my nails in to the boards and then figure out what I want to do with the top half. So that one's in progress. I cannot wait to do this page. I don't think I have actually started any more of these. No, I have not. But these are all taken out of the book because, like I said, I had the ink spill. It was pretty bad. But I am going to be framing these anyways, so they're going to have to be out of the book. And that's why I have my second copy. That ink ruined my book. So that is that book. And then, of course, I have Mythomorphia. And I don't believe I have actually done anything in this book. I don't even think I do want to do this one. I think that's cool. But I don't believe I have done anything. Oh, that's one of the ones that I want to do is the unicorns. So yeah, I have not touched this book yet. So that is it for my Kirby Roseanne's, Mythiographic, and Johanna Basford. Then, move my watercolors here. I also got the Ink House, and the paper I'm working on in this one is this page. So this one's, I think, I didn't want to get it at first, but it's a pretty cool book. I haven't really progressed on any more than I have done. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to color the desk, go in and finish these books, and then the eagle's feet. I think that's an eagle. And then the little mouse. This book is actually really cool. I did want to get the Derwent ink tints to finish this, really. I'm using Prismacolors. I'm using inks. I'm using acrylic. I'm using, what else? I think that's about it at this moment. But I do want the ink tints, Derwent, so I can come in here and do some of these. I've seen Zucchini Kitty do a couple pages in this book, and it really turned out really neat. I'm sure you guys already all have these books. I know you do. But like I said, I was behind on all this. So my Magical Dawn, I actually really, really love her books. Been having a lot of fun. The first page that I did was a color along with Zucchini Kitty. And I completed this page. Very beautiful, using Prismacolors. Was my first time actually coloring. This was my first one. So Zucchini Kitty, oh, I see some of my stickles went all over my frog. This was my first time ever coloring in a coloring book. So I was thankful to have Zucchini Kitty to show me how to shade, how to add colors, how to use all the things that she did show me. She's a wonderful colorist, and I did do a couple things different than she did, but it was a lot of fun. And the next one I'm working on, I have not finished. I need to finish that hair. As this page, had to color it. This took the longest, was to put in the acrylic black. I'm using Prismacolors on that one. Let's see. I'm working on this color along with Zucchini Kitty. I am doing it a little bit different than she is. But I should get in here and finish this one. It's almost done. Really. Finish this bird, and then just a little bit of figure out what I want to do with all these necklaces or beads that they have. A lot of papers and vellum stuck in this book. See if I got anything else going on. Oh, yes. I did this page. I have not finished it. I actually forgot about this one. I need to color in the stars and then get an inky background in this one. This one was easy but fun. I got stickles going on, Prismacolors, my black ink pens. I do need to finish this bottle. I forgot that one's not done, and either of the ribbons or the stars. I need to come back to that one. Pretty though. And I don't, oh, I did, I think, oh, and I'm working on this one. I forgot about this one too. I haven't been in my Hana Karlzon books for a little bit because I've been working in Kirby Roseanne's. This one, I used Jane Davenport's stamp, put a mermaid in here. I used some other stamps to put in a bottom of the ocean, sand and plants, and some fishies up here. My pearl, what are those little pearl accents? And then I used some stickles to put some gold here. Then I need to finish these 2 seashells. But this is a stamp from Jane Davenport, another stamp for the fish, and then a stamp for the bottom, and then I just colored it in. So I need to come back and finish that one. I need to come back and work in her books. I actually mess them. Then I have one more page that I've done. This was a color along with Zucchini Kitty. I really love how she colors. This was the second page I ever did. So I was learning. I used Prismacolor stickles, my white pen, Signo pen to white out the little jewel, and then of course Tim Holtz Distress. I think I used Distress Oxide though. Yeah, I did. I couldn't find my Distress ink pads. I only have the mini ones, so. But this was really fun. It was good learning. Thank you, Zucchini Kitty, for that. And then let's go to my next coloring book, which is Nightfall. I just got this one, and I have started, blacked out this one because I'm going to put her in a starry kind of night on a flower. I don't think I have any before that, no. So I've started this one, used Prismacolors. I did have a different background going on. I was using Color Burst, and it didn't work out, so I blacked it out, and I've come up with a new idea. So I need to get back to that one. I've got so many pages going on, that's funny, kinda. I started this one today, watercolor for the flowers, and then watercolor for the stems. I'm going to finish this. This is watercolor. And I'm going to go ahead. This is just a base. And I'm going to base this one, and then I'm going to come back in with my, probably my Scribner and Farber, however you say it, colored pencil so I can layer and finish this up. I did add some more stars to the background, colored the moon silver. And anyways, I'm just basing this with watercolor. So I started that today. I should have just finished that flower, but I didn't. And there's nothing else in here that I have actually done. This is a really cute book, though. So I'm enjoying this one. That was Nightfall by Maria Trolley. And these are all out of order, so I'm not really one that's like, oh my gosh, it's not in order. I don't care. It's how it's sitting there. Jewelry box. Let's see what I've done. Did I show that long enough? Jewelry box by Hana Karlzon. I know I've done, I see ink on the side of the paper, so I know I've done something in here. Oh, I see paint. Okay, so I have done this page. I have taken a Diane Rivley stencil. It's her stained glass window stencil. And I made this little thing, a window, the lady with the cat, and maybe, hey, she's looking out a stained glass window with her kitty cat. The butterflies coming up. This does sparkle and shine. I have the dragon paint, acrylic paint on top of this is gel, the King Art gel sticks that I put in color with one of my brushes. I just wanted to make it bright and vibrant and fun because the cat and the lady need a really good window to look out of. And I'm not sure, let me take a look if I have, oh, I got this one blacked out in the background, ready to go. I am working on my snake also, which I have used, oh no, hope it doesn't pull up the paper or the color. I need to put that on a sticky note. Carefully do that. Okay, so this is my snake. I've used a stencil to make rocks, the water, Prismacolors, For the snake, I'm doing, this is really, it's a lot longer of a snake than I thought. I used Dilutions sand paint in the background. Underneath it, I did have pan pastel, but it was just too light. So I went in with Diane Rivley's sand Dilutions paint and painted some sand. This is, the rocks were painted with pan pastels, and I used a color pencil to do a little bit of highlighting. I have not finished this yet, but it is really pretty. It's going to be pretty when it's done. It's almost done. That snake takes a really, really long time, and I got bored. I do that, but these will eventually be finished. And I have not done anything else in the jewelry box. Next one I have sitting here in line is the Grains of Gold by Hana Karlzon. I'm not too sure, I'm going to start from the back, if I have done anything in this one. Oh, I can't wait to do that one. That one's going to be fun. Oh, I think I have. I've done some background work, I believe. I see ink somewhere. Oh, I love that page. I actually started that in another book. I'll show you. Let's see. I know I've done something in here. Okay, so I am working on the honeycomb. I am using Scribner and Farben. I'm using Stickles. And I'm using... Actually, that's at all at this point. I just got overwhelmed with all the honeycombs, but I will be back to finish this. It really wore down my pencil on this paper, and Scribner, or however you say it, and Farben are not open stock, so I'd have to buy a new set to be able to replace that pencil, which that really sucks. But I'm having fun with this page, and I will come back to it. I haven't been in Hannah's books here in a while, which I need to come back to. And I think I have done another background. I've done this one in another book. There are some repeats in her book. Oh, I've done the little flower, and then I've done the front page. I was actually testing out... What was I testing out that day? I was mixing gel pen with watercolor and Tim Holtz Distress ink. So that's one I've done in Grains of Gold. Oh, sorry. Okay, this one... Sorry, I swallowed wrong. This one is Spirit Animals by Hana Karlzon. And I have... Oh, I need to put that on a sticky note. This is actually in a couple of my books. I have started doing this one. The background is done in Jane Davenport's watercolors, her bright palette, and actually I have all of her palettes. I kind of mixed them there. My gold pen, and then I'm using Prismacolors, violet blue, chartreuse, light aqua, and rose to go in here. I wanted a really bright octopus lady, and then I put some of that dragonfly gold or dragonfly sparkle paint with some of the gold stickles on the octopus. So this is actually, and I don't think the camera shows really how bright this is. So yeah, the camera doesn't really show it too well. This is a fun page. I need to get back into Hana Karlzon's books and do some work. I'm going to grab it from the back. I don't think I have actually started or done anything else in this book but that page. I thought I did the Queen, but it could be, that could be a different book. One of the ones I am interested in doing is this page. This is going to be a really fun page. I just haven't planned out how I want to do it yet. And like I said, I need to finish all the other ones before I go start anything else. Next one is Summer Nights, of course, by Hana Karlzon. That must have fallen out from somewhere. Go ahead and take this paper out. All right, I'll grab it from the back. Let's see. Okay, so I did do this one. I haven't finished it yet. I used a stencil, Diane Rivley Dilutions stencil in the background. This is where this came from. Prismacolors, a gold glitter pen for her crown. And it's kind of like she's coming through a wall in a black mystical hole in the wall. I don't know. I just tried to do something different, and I was testing out some mediums, some stencils. The stencils I actually used pan pastel for. I wanted to see how that would work. So that was that. And I'm not sure. I see some more paint somewhere. Oh, I wanted to test out if this book could handle watercolor. So I did a watercolor background on the fish. And then I love how the paper sounds when watercolor has been applied, or water to a paper. I'm addicted to that sound. I used a glitter pen, gold glitter pen, for some of the scales, and I'm going to come back in here and I'm going to add some color. But it does have quite the, if you can see that, I don't know, camera might not pick it up, quite the sparkle there. That's, oh, you know what, this needs a paper because the sparkle's getting, actually I'll use vellum. Okay, and I'm not sure, I have done, oh, I saw something, okay, I did start to do, oh, this first is a Diane Rivley's Dilutions Spiderweb stencil. I just started doing some backgrounds and prepping a lot of pages. I love doing backgrounds. So I came in and I thought it needed some more spider webs on this page. And then I got attracted to these little flowers and I started putting some of the color down. This is Prismacolor and Dragonfly acrylic paint over the top to give it a sparkle. I don't know if the camera will pick up the sparkle, but I love sparkle and dazzle in my artwork. Then I also have this one. I was actually testing out some medium for the background, so it didn't exactly work out to the way I wanted it to, but I'm going to make it work. The door turned out beautiful, of course. Those are Prismacolors. It was just the background. I was using the King Art gel sticks, but for some reason it just didn't do what I needed it to do. So, but I'm going to finish the paper anyway, or the page anyways, even though I'm not happy with how this ended up. There might be a way I can fix it. I just have to think for a minute, maybe go in with some Dilutions paint or something like that. So that was all I've done for Summer Nights. And then I have Spirit Animals. Now, some of these pages are repeats from other books, I believe, in this one. I mean, I think they all have a little bit of repeat in them. So that one's repeated. A couple of them are. I can't wait to do that dragon. That is going to be really awesome. See what I've done in here. So I'm trying, oh, there's that girl again, right? I just saw that bat lady somewhere. I don't know where it went. But, oh, there she is. Okay, so I have it twice. So if I mess up, I can do it again. That's good to know. Oh, that's a repeat. Oh, we already did this one. What am I doing? That's funny. No wonder why, right? I'm like, wait a minute. How did I end up having two of those? Okay. So the book I was supposed to grab was Summer Nights. No. Okay, my books are all getting messed up. we'll do Daydreams. Goodness gracious. Daydreams. I don't know if I've done any in this one. This is, I believe, this was one of her first books. This is a really beautiful book. Sometimes I hate to go in there and color something, and I'm afraid I'm going to just royally screw it up. But I guess you could always buy a new one. I started doing the frog. I've put some... The raindrops, I've used stickles. It's like raining glitter down. I've used Prismacolors for my mushrooms. And then I also have been using for the flowers the Dilutions paint pens to go in here and color the flowers. I like to mix the mediums up that I do use. So I need to get back to this one, and I don't know if you can see the little rain sparkles. I'm not sure if the light's picking it up, but it's very sparkly on my end. And then, oh, this was really fun. This was a really fun page, guys. I wanted to test out, and unfortunately I was using a lot of Hana Karlzons to test out, and I'm just glad that it worked out. I took the King Art gel sticks, and that's how I got the background and the color fading, and I used my little brushes. This was, and the thing that I like about it, because I didn't have to worry about the lines too much, because the King Art gel sticks are erasable. So I'd go in there with my brush as good as I could, and if I went over the line, I would just take my eraser and erase it, and it would come right off. So until they dry, you can erase them. I've used stickles here to give it some sparkle. I'm still trying to figure out what part of this this belongs to. So this page was actually really fun. The next one to it, I was testing out some new mediums that I got, and I haven't finished it yet, but this page, actually, I totally forgot about this. This is actually kind of pretty in my book. Get it, my book? Sweaty. Okay. And I think that's all I've done in that book so far. And then we've got Seasons by Hana Karlzon. And I think okay, this is my Christmas page that I started. I wanted to learn how to do the Christmas tree branches. I think they turned out really good for my first time. Over here, I've added some sparkle to the branches, if it'll show. I don't know if the camera is picking that up at all, but I've used stickles to put some, kind of like a snow, but not so noticeable that it takes my branches away. And I am using Prismacolors for this. If you want to know anything more about it, leave a comment and I'll try to answer you. I am working on my Squirrel House. I am trying to do something different than anybody else has. So I have used Diane Rivley stamps, and I'm turning it into a winter house. I put a little hat onto my squirrel. That is from the Dilutions Christmas stamps. She has little accessory stamps that you can stamp out hats and stuff. And then this actually was her Christmas lights that I ended up putting on the house and trying to make the roof look like it was snow. So I tried to texture it up with acrylic white paint, and then I put diamond stickles on these and turn these into little icicles. So I'm actually working on that, and I am using Prismacolor for this page and acrylic white paint. And like I said, stamps. I'm just trying to make it different than everybody else's page. I felt like it needed to be a winter page, and I felt like my squirrel needed to have a hat to keep his head warm. I might add some other stamps in there, Christmas stuff, and decorate his house up real good. So I need to come back to that one. This one, I started out using Dilution stamps, and in the background I've covered it up because I tried to put in mushrooms and I didn't want it on a cake plate. I just didn't like this page, so it didn't look well after I finished it either, so I just went ahead and blacked it all out, and I will come back and figure out, maybe turn this into like a floating island or something. I can't wait to color that cat. This is my... I should have saved this for Halloween, but I didn't. Just has to work. So this is my Halloween page. I wanted to try to do it different than other people were doing it. So I did use some Dilution stencils in the background. I'm doing some stitching up in here. And I'm using Prismacolors. This was my first time ever doing a cat. This was actually my first time using the Scribner and Farben set. So it was a little new to me, and I was trying to learn how to layer and stuff like that. With the face, I was used to my Prismacolors and how blendable they are. So I struggled a little bit on this. And then I thought, you know what, you really need to wait till Halloween to finish this, which is right around the corner. I do like the little spider webs, and I like the mixed media background I got going on. I need to come back in and finish this up, but I think I'm going to go ahead and wait until around Thanksgiving or Halloween to finish this page. I think I messed this one up. I don't know. I'm not happy with it. I tried to go in here. I have a Tim Holtz stencil on top. I don't remember the medium I used in the background. I put some Tim Holtz black ink to kind of... I don't know. I need to just finish it, because whether it's good or bad, it should be finished. I wanted to kind of put a shadow, like this was hanging on a brick wall. I just don't think it worked out, so I kind of moved on because I was really disappointed in myself with that one. But, I mean, I had just started out, so what did I know? And testing out new mediums, too, can sometimes throw you off. Okay, so that's it for that one. The next book I have is another Maria... Oh, there goes my water paintbrushes. Is Maria Trolley Luna. And I don't think I've even touched this book. I have flipped through it. I saw a lot of ladies' color pages, and I thought, wow, that is really cool. Yeah, no, I haven't even touched this book yet. I'm going to, though, once I finish those other pages, but you never know. I get bored, so I may just come in and decide I'm going to do some coloring in that book at one point. Try to put these books back so they don't fall. The next book that I have in my collection is Tales from the Forest Kingdom. I thought this book was really neat. I started coloring this in the background. I need to figure out quickly how I'm going to fix this page. It might work out. It might not. I don't know. We'll see. I did start... Oh, I totally forgot about this. Oh, no, and I didn't even write down the blues that I used. I can figure it out, though, but I know they're Prismacolors. Why would I do something like that? I usually leave notes. But I wanted this mystical, and I used Prismacolors. I used King Art gel sticks for the grass in the back. And then I'm going to come in. I need to finish this horse before I can't find these colors anymore and he'll be all off colored. This one's actually a cool page. I use stickles for the bubbles. Totally forgot about this page. I did this one. Not too happy about the way my jewels turned out. I need to know if I can come in and maybe fix those somehow. Wasn't too happy with myself when I screwed those up. It happens. I think that's... Oh, and then I started doing this one. I came in with some gel art stick, or the gel King Art gel sticks. Did some of the background. I've used some stickles. I've used Scribner and Farber color pencils. And I was actually just testing out the King Art gel sticks to see what kind of background it would make. Then my next one, we're almost done with all the books I have. Midnight Masquerade by Hana Karlzon. I know I've done something. I think I've done some background work in this one, if I can remember. Haven't been in here for so long. Feels like so long. I see ink coming on a page, so... Okay. So I did a color along with this one. I'm glad at least I put the colors that I've used in it. I need to come back and finish her dress. I did use Tim Holtz stencil in the background to give it some pizzazz. And some stickles for all these little circles that are going on there. This one, I tried to draw in the face behind the masquerade. I'm not too sure if it worked out the way I envisioned it, but maybe once I finish it, it will. I used acrylic, Jane Davenport acrylic paint for the skin tone, so I just need to come in here and finish it. And then I used, this was actually a hair stencil by Jane Davenport. So I just need to come in here and just finish it. Whether it's good or it's bad, it needs to be finished. And that was all I have actually done in that book. And then I do have, which is one of my favorites, is Tales from the Witch's Cottage by Hana Karlzon. And I know, okay, so I've done the key. I used Diane Rivley's Dilutions stencil in the background, Prismacolors, gel pens, and stickles. If you can see any of the sparkle on that. This camera's really not picking it up. I did a color along with this page. There's some sparkle. To this, I've used Prismacolors and Tim Holtz Distress Oxide ink for the background. This was a really fun page. And I started doing the bug page. I need to come back in and make these stars sparkly. I wanted to do it a little different. I have Dena Wakely's Night. It's like a really dark blue, not a black, but it's a real dark blue for the background. This is a stencil that I made off my Cricut for stars, and then I'm going to come in and add some little specks around here, and I just need to get the bugs finished. And then I'm pretty sure I see some more paint. That must have just been... Okay, and then this is the last page that I've done in this book. I used Tim Holtz stencil for the bricks. I used Distress ink. Actually, Distress Oxide, I'm sorry. And then my Prismacolors for the leaves. I thought, I started out with some ink, but it started going through to the paper, so I stopped because I actually like this paper back here. I didn't gesso it. So I just went back in with my Prismacolors and continued to finish that, and I haven't decided what I want this frame or the ribbon to be colored yet. So I'm going to come back. That'll be really quick to finish. And then I believe I only have one more book, actually, that is way at the bottom of my collection here. So I'm going to get that last book out, and that'll be the end of my coloring book escapade. I do, like I said, I do journaling. So this is a lot of the stuff that I was doing. A lot of stuff like Jane Davenport, making hair. I was learning how to draw faces. I haven't finished this lady yet. This was actually, this is funny. She was dropping her suitcase. I haven't come in and finished that yet. Let's see what else I got in here. Oh, my little elephant with the lady. This one was totally weird. This is a die cut, a Jane Davenport die cut. Little wonky on this. I drew this. I haven't come back and finished. These are stamps for the leaves. I kind of thought that made it look like a bridge. I need to come back and finish her. I love this page. Drew this one. It says, "Blame it on my wild heart." Jane Davenport inspired. This is Bloom, Flourish, Grow. I keep hitting a water bottle. I actually like this page. I drew this. Jane Davenport inspired. I used my jelly plate for the background. This was inspired by Jane Davenport. She said, just kind of go be wild and free, and I just tore out some of that tissue paper, kind of made her a little outfit. It's not supposed to be anything like super detailed. Put a head on, cut a crown out of the paper. Then I drew this one. I don't know if you guys can see this book. I drew this one. Wasn't too happy. It was one of my first kind of getting started pages in that book. And I used tissue paper that I made. I take my tracing paper and I use my jelly plate and I just put paint and colors on it, and then I let it dry, and I can tear this off and I make clothing for my paper dolls and some of my other art stuff that I do. Last but not least here of the coloring books is Soulmates by Hana Karlzon. So here's one of the ones that I've done in Soulmates. I used Dilutions by Diane Rivley stencil in the background with King Art gel sticks. So I think this kind of is interesting. Black acrylic paint, Prismacolors. I wanted to see if this would work out as wood. I mean, I don't know. What do you think? I need to come back and finish that one, and then see if there's that one paper again. I knew it was in there somewhere. I did a background for this one using Tim Holtz stencil. No, actually, this is a Dilution stencil. I'm sorry. This is Diane Rivley's stencil. And I used the King Art gel sticks for the yellow, and then I used Tim Holtz black soot for putting the stencil in, getting her prepared to be colored. I started this one. I was testing out using stencils in my coloring books, and I used the newest of Diane Rivley's stencils for the card. I used, I believe this is the, yeah, it feels like the gel, King Art gel stick to color the card a little bit, and King Art for the red. Actually, there was two colors, maroon and red. I just wanted to see what would happen, and I think it kind of turned out cool. I mean, it's different than other people's, so that's, you know, that's something. Here's my little lizard. I was actually testing out, again, the King Art gel sticks. I was trying to get practice. I used a stencil, and I went ahead and put a little background in there for them, and then I used Prismacolors to start coloring. I was just actually doing backgrounds, but then I got into it and I started coloring them with Prismacolors. This is actually a dual page, so I'm going to have to make her match into this one, which shouldn't be hard. I just thought that that really actually turned out cute. I don't know if you can kind of see the stencil work on that with the King Art gel sticks. I think those are like really cool. I love those things. And I'm not too sure that I've really done anything else in here. No, I got this one. This book wasn't available. The paper in this book is a lot thicker than the American books, I'll tell you that. It is a little bit thicker, and I love the paper. I wish they'd do all of our books like that. I actually ordered this one. This is the Netherlands edition. I ordered this from overseas. It took a little bit to get here, so, but the paper in it's a lot thicker than our American versions, and I like these better, and if I would have known that, I would have ordered them all like this. It holds up to mixed media really, really well. Next thing I got, this is a Dilutions art journal. I was using the black on white, white on black. That's how it goes. Just some, this is my doodling. So I just sit here, I used a stencil to make the squares, and then I used a stencil to generally make these shapes, and then I just sat here and I doodled, 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 and doodled. Here's another one. This is a Dilutions cutout because I thought I would put her, a die cut. I thought I'd put her in here. I just have to work on the doodling. I never came back to this one. Here is one that I finished because I'm not going to color. I want this book to be completely black and white. That's kind of like the theme. So this one took a really long time with all the doodling I did. I used the Dilution stencil, and which was this kind of like spiral thing. And then I sat here and I put in all these little lines, all these little doodles, and I just doodled my little heart out. And I think that's been it in this Dilutions journal. Of course, I've got some Dena Wakely collage, which is really fun to add to your artwork and cut things out, mixed media. I have missing stencils. That's where those went. They were in my pile of stuff. I have, this is the Dena Wakely journal, and it could be upside down. No. I haven't really worked in this a lot, but this is a really cool journal. It has different types of material. This is like denim, a pair of denim something clothes. So I did a couple tags. This is just for mixed media. This is a really like heavy duty watercolor paper that is like so thick, but even though it's thick, it falls apart. So this is some Dena Wakely stamps. This was some scribble sticks, a tag, acrylic paints, inks, dilutions paints, and a stencil, and then I stitched stuff in there. Did that again. I can't remember whose stencil this is. This is a Diane Rivley. You are about to exceed the limits of my medication. That is funny right there. I don't care who you are. Not sure what was going on here. Just some mixed media, I guess. I was prepping this page to put some tags on. I was also testing the Dena Wakely gloss sprays, trying to make a background. This was done with some texture paste, some stencils, some paint, just kind of messing around, having fun in my journal. This was just a background that I did, just messing around, doing some asymmetric writing, using stencils, gloss sprays, ink sprays, and just kind of making a cool page. I was testing out, again, some gloss sprays by Dena Wakely and a stencil. This was actually going to be, this was watercolor. I was testing out some Jane Davenport watercolor, and I'm going to end up stitching these together with a black pen, and then I'm going to add some media to that. And that's, oh, I like these burlap pages. These are really fun to work with. The denim, I think, is a little bit challenging just to know what to do with it, but you just treat it like any other page and just go for gold. I mean, you know, what else are you going to do? You just, Dena Wakely says you just treat it like any other page and you just go for it. Let your creative self just go and be free. It doesn't matter if anybody else likes your artwork. You know, you're supposed to have fun. So this is some loose leaf watercolor paintings that I've done. This actually happened by accident. I was using the Color Burst watercolor. I looked down and there was this little elf lady, and I took a pencil and I started tracing what I saw, and she came out of my paper. I'm telling you, I didn't draw that. My ghostwriter did. I looked down and there she was, even with the hand, fingers. Crazy, right? I was like, there she is. She's looking at me. But I mean, she was just, her hair, her earring. And so I saw her. That sounds about crazy. All right, we'll go now. Little dancer lady. Jane Davenport. This is, and I hope you can see it because I've put this in a plastic sheet protector. This is a watercolor paper used arches, and this is my Mermaid Lady I drew, Jane Davenport inspired, using watercolor to paint her. Watercolor skin tone. It was my first time doing that. I think it turned out pretty good. Do not pay attention to that. Do not pay. That was my first time. So you can see I've improved. This one over here, I haven't finished yet. It was just kind of my wild and free kind of little thing, putting a bug on her face and just drawing some. I got inspired by a lady. This is actually in the background. All this is watercolor except for the skin tone on her. I used my acrylic paint pen. I was testing it out to see if it would work. The rest of it's all watercolor. Mermaid markers by Jane Davenport. Then this one, Jane Davenport inspired. I was practicing drawing my faces, working on my eyes, working on my hair. This is my crazy ink lady. I just drew her. I tried to put wings on her. One wing looks different than the other wing. you know, I was working it out. I was trying. I was practicing. That's what happened. Oh, this is my little fairies. I did end up using Jane Davenport stamps in the background, and then I drew these two little ladies inspired from a page of Jane Davenport's. I was trying to practice looking at what I was drawing and trying to get it onto the paper. Trying to really learn how to draw was hard. It is hard. This one is my another Mermaid Lady. I did use some stamps in the background for the fish. I just haven't colored them yet. My jellyfish up here. And then drew in my lady. I was practicing on eyes, eyelashes. This one, I was trying to do a little bit of mixed media. I'm not too sure I like her hair. This is actually done in oil pastel, I believe, for her hair. Watercolor back here. Her eyelashes didn't turn out the way I wanted. This is one of my favorites. This is actually done in chalk pastel, pan pastel, all of it, except for this, her body here. This is what I was showing you earlier, that I take the tracing paper that I had in this folder. I believe here is where, that's not her outfit. One of them is, though. I used one of these papers that I made. I probably used it all up to make her fins and stuff. But this is what I do with those papers. And I put it on and I cut it out to exactly match herself. And I used it as clothing. So I thought that ended up looking pretty cool. This one, I was trying to practice, again, drawing eyelashes, eyes. Not too happy with how that came out. Meh. It is all done, I'm sorry, with watercolor. So watercolor, you know, was new to me and is still new. I call it still new. So drawing your own pictures, and then something is stuck in here. Oh, that's part of her. Okay, so is new to me still, and I was drawing my own pictures, working on my own art, and then trying to watercolor it. It was a challenge. Really is still. This one I actually like. I drew this one, tore out some paper for her dress, and then I used a Dilutions stencil in the background. This is all done in watercolor. This is watercolor. All this is watercolor except the black paint pen and the white paint pen to put the beads in her hair. This one, I actually got out my watercolor. This was the Color Burst, and I just was testing them out, and I was making my watercolor run, and I was doing this. I looked down at my paper, and I saw a face. It had lips, it had a nose, an eye. So I just took my pencil and I drew in what I saw. So it's a half a melty face. This one obviously is a Jane Davenport inspired. I looked at her picture and I drew what I saw out of one of her books. I was trying to, again, learn how to draw. I added this stuff in and this stuff in. This is all watercolor. This is a pen, of course, to make some of the scales. This is watercolor, and all of this is watercolor, actually. And in the hair is her Bright palette, I think. I think it turned out really neat. This one was inspired by one of her books. Looked at it, tried to draw what I saw, working on position of turning the head. the eyes, trying to get my ears to look better, and then I used a stencil in the background. This is all done in watercolor, and the makeup on her is watercolor. This one, I was trying to practice doing watercolor in darker hair. There's really no definition. I kind of ran out of steam on that one. But mainly, I was just trying to still, again, practice the face, practice the eyes, practice proportions. And I ended up using Jane Davenport's makeup palette to do her eyeshadow, which looks like eyeshadow. It looks like human makeup, but it's actually pan pastels. And I was trying to learn how to do my lips better and put some highlight. So that's basically what that was about. This is inspired by one of her pictures in her book, but I saw one tree with koalas that I liked, and then I saw one lady with a bird I liked, so I put both of those together on one page as best as I could, drawing and then, or watching, looking at her papers, and then trying to put down what I see, trying to help my drawing. I get really nervous when I draw and my pencil just doesn't want to seem to move. But this is a cute page. And this is all watercolor. Actually, I used watercolor pencil. The Color watercolor pencil, which actually is very vivid, as you can see, and beautiful. This one was, oh yeah, I can see what it's doing to the paper or to the plastic. It looks like it's actually almost eating it. This is all done with oil pastel. It was my first time using oil pastels. I didn't know what I was doing. I don't think it turned out half bad for not knowing what I was doing. For her makeup, though, I did use pan pastel. But for everything else, this is all oil. And then it's sprayed with a fixative, so it wouldn't move. This page over here is another one of those things that happened. I was just practicing some crazy background, mixed media. Let's just mess around. I looked down at my paper. I saw this girl. She had an arm, another arm, she had legs, and she had a head. And so I took a pencil and I started drawing what I saw on the paper, and then here she is. So this was another ghostwriter epidemic here that drew for me, because that's what I saw when I looked down at my mixed media. This was a practice. I was practicing with pan pastels, drawing hair and a face using only pan pastel. Except for the eyes, obviously I had to use a black pen. Or that's what I used. This one is done using watercolor and I believe Dena Wakely's scribble sticks for the back of this. Yeah, that's what was used. Her face is Jane Davenport's face paint set. The eyes are Diane Rivley's ink pens, paint pens, and then the hair is watercolor. And there is some watercolor in the background also. I was just trying to practice my eyes, and I think at this point they were getting a little bit better, making different looks with the lips and stuff like that. See if I have... So I got inspired by this gal. This is my cowgirl here. I didn't finish it, but I was practicing again with watercolors. And I'm trying to think. I think I started off using watercolor pencil, but I wanted to practice with the watercolor paint, so I switched. Her face is done with watercolor, and then I took some of the Pan Pastel Jane Davenport's makeup series and I used a bit of that to go into the eyes, into shading a little bit. Then I was practicing again. Like I said, I was just trying to practice my faces, bringing in my shoulders with the neckline, and then trying to put a shirt on my character here. So, and then this is Jane Davenport's watercolor. I got all her watercolor sets. Now that's really cool watercolor, actually, the ones that are in the bottle. I think it's called Incredible Ink, but what it is, and I'll show you, I have all of her colors here. This is actually called Incredible Ink, but this is highly concentrated watercolor. And they do really amazing things when they're put onto a wet paper and they sprawl out. And these are really awesome concentrated watercolors called Incredible Ink. These are fun to paint with. I was inspired. I forgot about this page. I was trying to practice my mermaids. I used nothing but watercolors here. The only thing I used was a glitter gel pen to kind of bring out some of the waves, and I'm going to come back in with some white. I used all watercolor except for the sparkle gel pen you see here. Watercolor for the hair, and it's all Jane Davenport's watercolor sets that look like this. I have her, I'm not going to go through all of them, but this one is her neutral palette. Here's the color chart. Her watercolors are really cool. And then I use the Glitz C palette. And then the Bright palette. These are really cool watercolors if you guys don't have them. And that's what I used for this one. And then I was again practicing my face, trying to get the shape right, and then I was trying to do a different kind of hair on this and trying to practice on my eyes. The hair didn't really work out the way I wanted to. A little disappointed, but at least my eyes are okay. The lips didn't turn out right, but I again was practicing. This one turned out good though. This one really turned out good. I just need to come back in here and I need to finish the sun, and I need to come put in some white for the waves, and then finish her scales right there, and she'll be done. Kind of cool. It's kind of cool to draw your own stuff and then try to paint it. And that's all that I have for my books. I have some other stuff though that I really haven't done anything in. So hopefully, and I do have another journal around here that I've actually done quite a bit of work in. Just free-handed stuff. But where, oh, I see where it went. I don't know if you guys are interested in seeing the last book for the night. Do I have anything in here? This is just an empty Dena Wakely journal waiting to be loved. I have two more books. There's not a lot in them, but I'll show you this is Dena Wakely's huge. I mean, this book, I can't even get it all on camera. This thing is so big. But I did do a couple drawings in this one. I was practicing again on my lady. I used a stencil for this. And then some Dena Wakley tissue paper. And I think that's, oh, I was doing, oh yeah, I like this. I forgot about this one. I was practicing with her eyes. And then I don't know what the heck, that's a fail. Yeah, so I haven't really done much else in that one. And then for the last book, I swear it's the last one. This is my art journal, my Dilutions art journal. And I've just done some mixed media stuff. You would think that with all your multiple personalities, at least one would be likable. Some of the Dilutions masks. This is kind of like a multimedia little... This was Dena Wakley trying to tell you to lose the fear of your art and just go for it. Oh, that's not a good page. Sorry, I can't. I'm busy mermaiding. That was one of my first ones. Just quickly flipping through. And I'm going to go ahead and end this stream here. This one was kind of cool. Tag comes out. Some stenciling. Dilutions paint. This is some masks, inks, some stamps, Dilutions, stamps here if you guys can see that. This is a Christmas page I'm actually working on. Christmas bulbs, presents, stencils. Open it up to a naughty elf. Some Christmas tree, Santa. I'm not done with this one yet. I do like this one. This was a mask. More heart masks. Just a background I did. This one's actually taking forever. I thought this had another piece to it. I guess not. This is multiple stamps I colored and I cut out. Did the background. Still have to finish cutting this out. This is a very large project and the coloring's not done too good. I have a lot of unfinished. This is kind of cool, like a journal entry page that I did. And I think that's it for this book. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to end this stream. I just wanted to share with you kind of a little bit of work that I do. I'm hoping that you enjoyed seeing some of my artwork and that you will like this video to get it out and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. I'm going to be doing a giveaway at 500 subscribers, some art supplies. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Help support my channel, and I hope you have enjoyed seeing all of my artwork, and I hope to see you again soon. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Bye.